Hello, my name is Tegan Smith-Jones. This is my first YouTube video. I will be reading a story to you. It's actually a lot of short, sad stories. I hope you enjoy. A Sequence of Sad Stories by Tegan Smith-Jones, illustrated by Lance Smith. Now, before you read this book, I would like to warn you that if you're the type of person who does not want to cry or feel sad, then I suggest that you get a happier book, like Beauty and the Beast, or something like that. Thank you for your valuable time. Sincerely, me, King Smith-Jones. King. Get off me, you mangy cat! I screamed, barked. But come on, the bloody thing was attacking me, and I did not want to bite it because it was just a small Persian kitten. I rolled it off me and went to chew my bone. King, would you cut that out? Jessie said. The cracking is absolutely intolerable. Fine. Ugh, humans. King, behave. I'm going out tonight. What? No, I won't let that happen. Come back here. Will a good old puppy as work? Nope, too late. He's already out the door. I went to my food bowl, and to my surprise, there was nothing there. What? But I'm starving. Since Jessie was gone, I might as well take a quick nap. When I woke up, it seemed to be about dawn. I looked out the window and saw that the metal thing with wheels was in the wood square. Great, that means he's home. I walked out my bed and saw a pair of shoes, but not just any shoes. They had sticks coming out of the back of them. Oh, don't mind if I do. I helped myself to these delicious tasting shoes. And then you'll never believe what happened next. Another mangy human. And another mangy cat came out of the hallway. I was so scared, I ran to my bed, whipped around the corner, and hid under the table. Hey, King. Hey, boy. That's your name, right? Aw, don't be scared. I'm with Jessie, said a sweet, high-pitched voice. I tried to squirm away, but I couldn't. And did she say that she was with my Jessie? I'm going to be staying with you for a little while. Isn't that awesome? By the way, my name's Miranda. Oh no, I'm going to have to live with her? She smells like squirrels, dead stuff, and honey. Suddenly, Jessie walked into the room. Hey, sweetie, how are you doing? Fine. King seems like a good boy, said Miranda. Yeah, you think? Hey, how about we take King to Central Park? Sound good? Jessie said. Sounds good, Miranda said, and I both barked. When we got to Central Park, it was crowded. So many butts to sniff, and still had no time to do it. So while I was chasing dogs, running around and sniffing butts, I thought if Miranda was going to stay forever, hopefully not. Then Jessie pulled out my favorite Frisbee and threw it. I jumped up and grabbed it. I brought it over to him and slobbered all over and licked him right in the face. And gave him a look that meant, I love you. And he looked at me and whispered, I love you too, King. If anything happens to you, I'll regret it. And trust me, I keep my word. He looked at me with some salty, watery goodness coming out of both eyes. So I licked it up for him. He smiled and then started to cry some more. While we were walking home, I overheard Miranda and Jessie talking about going to the Royal Ball in the south part of Brooklyn. Then they started talking about me. Well, who's going to take care of King? He'll be fine. He's a good boy. When we arrived home, they almost immediately raced out the door. What? You have got to be kidding me. They forgot to feed me again. I lied down on my bed. Soon, I drifted off. I went to bed hungry that night. When I woke up, it was morning again. I jumped up and ran to Jessie and practically dragged him out of bed. Miranda was at his side, sounding like she was using a chainsaw to cut down a tree. Timber, I thought. I yanked Jessie over to my bowl and nudged it and begged, but he did not seem to notice and just walked away. Oh man, was I hungry, and he was too busy with Miranda than with me, helping her with her makeup. Miranda ran down the stairs, already dressed in a gown, and said, You ready for the party at my friend's house? My eyes opened with a shock. A party? I love parties. Oh boy, this is going to be great. I smiled with gratefulness. Then I heard Jessie reply, Sure am, as they walked to the door. I followed and then ran to have it shut right in my face. Crashing right into my nose. I yelped loudly as they got in the car and then raced right off. My nose hurt a lot. Why did they leave without me? I cried and I felt terrible inside. I wandered over to my bed to find that there was no food there. This was the 4th night in a row without food. I lied down thinking about Jesse. I loved him so darn much. Then I raced weakly to the kitchen to see if there's any food. Then I spotted it. At the high cabinet, there was a can of fresh, wet cat food. I would take anything at this point. I was quite literally, starving. When I jumped up, I hit my chin, coming down and bit my tongue, and then twisted my ankle. Hurt like crazy. I was barking and yelping as loud as I could to see if anyone could hear me. It felt like no one cared about me anymore. And there it was, sitting right there on the counter, was a container of wet cat food. I tried to get up, but my ankle hurt way too much. I fell down and injured my same ankle even more. I yelped again and again and again. After a couple of hours, I started to howl. I howled and howled, hoping someone would come, and someone did. Right then, Jesse came bursting into the room, Miranda following behind. Panting and with sweat on his forehead, he leaned down and picked me up. He put me on the warm porch. The warm and sunny weather felt good on my fur. Then he bent down and started to sob. My stomach howled, started whining and whining and whining and whining. He didn't speak dog, so I tried to lick his face and to tell him, I'm hungry, please, come on, man, feed me. Then I licked the delicious, salty, watery goodness off of his face, same stuff that came out of his eyes at the park. Miranda came out of nowhere and bent down and started to cry too. I looked at the beautiful willow tree flashing in the wind, and then at the cherry tree. Then Jesse said, you really are king, boy. You are king. One last warm breeze brushed against my face, and then everything went black. The sad end. So thank you guys for watching that part. That is my first story, but I have 2 more. But I suggest you maybe find a happier book. Okay, so now that you've read one of the 3 stories in this book, I highly suggest that you stop reading. I mean, you would be a fool to keep on reading. But if you are stubborn and really like this book, then keep reading. I can't stop you. I'll know your decision on the next page. No visible bruises. Jeremy.
It's a new story, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
Yeah.